Welcome everybody to World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name is Maxwell and today's first video is from the user Captain Thorback. That is Captain Thorback, and he's driving the M48 Patton on an assault battle on Corellia. M48 Patton being a tier 10 medium tank for the Americans, and this first replay is all about fantastic positioning, what you can do with that fantastic positioning, and how much chaos you are able to wrought upon the enemy team if they underestimate you and decide not to give you the attention that you deserve. So as you can see, Captain Thorback straight away going to be making a beeline across the center of the map, going to be trying to take up refuge in the dips in the terrain and behind these rocks here, and he gets himself into a great position. Does lose his track to a Leopard PTA that is behind him, but as you can see, he's paying more attention to the tanks that are in front of him at the moment, which is absolutely the right thing to do. As you can see, positions himself to use that rock there so that the Leopard 1 can't get shots on him. Once he's tucked himself in underneath the rocks here and he's got the cover of some allies, then he's going to turn his attention back to this Leopard PTA, because having that Leopard PTA there is going to ruin his day and ruin his chances of being able to do anything here. Gets a great first hit on that Leopard PTA there as he's running away. Looks like the Leopard PTA is continuing to move forwards. He is behind a rock there, so I'm not sure if Captain Thorback's going to be able to land anything else on him. Decides it's probably for the best to leave the Leopard PTA to some of his allies, as he's not able to get anything through the rocks. The AMX 1375 has moved up now as well, which is going to be great for Captain Thorback, as he's going to be providing fantastic spotting for him. As you can see, there's nobody in and around the cap circle. This is a high-tiered game, so most people have made their way to either the north or the south flank. Unfortunately, that's going to prove to be to the detriment of the enemy team here. You can see they really should have left one or two people back in order to deal with Captain Thorback, but everybody, I guess, just assumed that someone else was going to deal with the situation. Finds a Tiger 2, gets a great shot through his rear, decides to drop back because he has been spotted here. Although, like I said, there's nobody really in the area to deal with him. Does see the Leopard PTA. Leopard PTA is concentrating on whatever's in front of him. Thorback has a shot, but that one just about hits the rocks there. Going to be trying to line another one up. Can he hit him? He can indeed. Picks up kill number 1 early on against the Leopard PTA, trying to do exactly what he's doing here. T-34 not paying him any attention either. He's taking refuge behind a rock and looking up north, even though there are no targets to shoot at up north just yet. So Thorback's able to get a great bit of damage on him. T-34 still not paying attention to this location. He has now backed off and put himself behind a rock, so that's 1 point to him. Captain Thorback going to see if he can get a shot on anybody else. Could just about see the rear of that Tiger 2 there, but it was a bit of a risky shot, so didn't take that one on. And this is just playing absolutely into his hands here. The enemy team is deciding to circle around that rock there, and normally that is a great tactic and a great way to take the allied team here by surprise. Unfortunately for him, Thorback is here, and he's got fantastic shots on everybody that's there. Finds a Cynefin, and again the Cynefin not paying him enough attention. Does finally take a hit from the Conqueror, but he's got this Cynefin lined up now, who's still not paying attention. A little bit unfortunate they didn't take him completely out there, but the E75 just finishes him off. Now he's got to turn his attention to this T-34, which is still alive somehow with only 1 hit point left. He has a quick look at this Conqueror here, the only person who's paid him any attention, so it would be nice to get him eliminated and taken out of the battle, because everybody else seems blissfully unaware of his existence. Conqueror was looking at somebody else, doesn't know who to pay attention to. Captain Thorback just bounces that shot, which is a little bit unfortunate. This one should hopefully sail right through his armor. Does have to take that one blind, but he is able to take him out, picks out his target. No problem whatsoever. As you can see, not really wanting to waste a whole shell on 1 hit point of that T-34, so decides to fire at the Foch 155 instead. He does have a considerably larger cannon and had a little bit more hit points while still being a 1-shot, 1-kill. Moving across now, having a look at this E75. E75 still a tough target to crack. Unfortunately for the E75, he was looking the wrong way. Had his full side turret pointed towards Captain Thorback, probably in his mind not really wanting to worry about shots coming from his own base. Does find a Rheinmetall here. Looks like the Rheinmetall maybe. Yes, it was indeed looking at him. Couldn't quite see which way his gun was pointing. The Rheinmetall was looking in this direction. He's backed off now behind a rock, but he hasn't backed off nearly far enough. Captain Thorbach's able to sneak another one through his gun shield. Rheinmetall pops himself back out, has a shot, does a little bit of damage, but again, backs off nowhere near far enough, and Captain Thorbach's just able to put another shot into him to take him out. That was his 6th kill now, and a well-deserved Top Gun medal. Now they can switch their attention to the left-hand side of the map, this southern flank. Captain Thorbach going to be making a move across there. Looks like there are still a few campers in the back. This one is all but won by the looks of it, 11 kills to 4. And again, these guys just not situationally aware whatsoever. If they've been paying any attention to their map at all, they'd know that they would have to start paying attention to this right-hand side here where Captain Thorbach is coming from. Unfortunately for them, not a single one of them paying attention to the map, and that just proves to be their undoing. Captain Thorbach is very quickly able to dispatch that Lover and that KV-4. Now he's going to move on to a full health E100. Got to play it carefully though with 880 hit points. If this E100 gets a high roll, he might be able to take him out with a single shot. Off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure if he has the alpha damage. E100 fires. Captain Thorbach lands a great shot to take out his track and do some damage to him. You can see the E100 not even bothering to track his turret around because he knows he doesn't have the reverse speed. Puts himself behind the rock so he's taking damage from as few targets as possible. But this is just a foregone conclusion. It is like a gazelle being circled by patient leopards or tigers there, and they are able to take him out no problem whatsoever. And that was a fast and furious game from Captain Thorbach there, picking himself up 7.5, probably almost 8,000 damage. I'm sure he landed some hits in the fog of war there. And a mighty, mighty 8 kills. Just showing you the power of fantastic positioning and what to do with that positioning once you have it, and how dangerous you can be if the enemy team doesn't pay you the attention that you deserve. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around because, as always, the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay today is from the user Washington76. That is Washington76, and he's driving the Waffenträger Alf's E100 on a standard battle on the Arctic region. The Waffenträger is a tier 10 turreted tank destroyer for the Germans. And anybody who's followed the channel for any length of time knows that I don't tend to show tank destroyer or artillery replays all that often, and that's just down to the fact that they tend to be a bit campy and a little bit boring to watch, whilst also being technically brilliant. Users of replays like that normally do a lot of damage and do very well for their team, but like I said, normally not very interesting to watch. So obviously this one's going to be a little bit different, which is why I have elected to show it. It is a little bit slow to get started, but that's just down to the fact that the Waffenträger has about a 60-second reload. Just bear in mind that this is the previous patch, not the current patch, so it still has the 6 shells in the auto-loader and still has the longer reload. I'm currently about a month behind on replays, so the one before this was sent in exactly a month ago to the day. It was sent in the 12th of July. I'm not 100% sure about this one, but I would assume it was around about the same time. So currently about a month behind on replays, which is why if you send an awesome replay in, no matter how awesome it is, it's going to be at least 3 to 4 weeks before it gets featured on the channel, and that's just down to the fact that I've got so many replays being sent in every day now, which is awesome because you guys are great, but I'm probably going to have to set aside a whole weekend maybe just to watch replays for an entire day with a bag of popcorn or something. So as you can see, Washington advancing forward to help his platoon mate here. Has 2 shots at the T-54. 1 lands, 1 misses. A little bit unfortunate that one of those missed there, as he would have been able to take out that T-54. T-54 pops his head up again, but I don't really think he wants any of this. If he does, then he is a little bit foolish. Washington going to continue to advance forward. Still got 4 shells in the auto-loader. Sees a second T-54 here through the bushes, but not really able to get much on him thanks to the rocks and the dips in the terrain there. Platoon mate in the IS-7 is faring pretty well. The T-54E1 with him not so much, but it looks like the enemy team hasn't concentrated very many forces on this southern flank. In fact, they haven't really concentrated in very many forces anywhere. Most of them appear to be in that northern area. So Washington 76 just figuring that he'll be able to get around the side of one of these tanks and maybe do some serious damage. That looks like an IS-7 and an IS-4 in there. Just paying attention to what is around this corner first. Keeping an eye on the tanks to the right. So if there's anybody up that little hill there, they'd be able to do some serious damage to him as he flanked around. As it is, there's nobody there. It's a little bit unfortunate. Gets one great hit. Take out the IS-4's track. Gets a second shot. Third lands on the IS-7. He's got to take one more. There we go. Gets away with 2,300 points of damage and only takes some tracking damage himself. Now he's got to back off and allow himself time to reload. He's going to spin himself all the way around so that he's pointing in the direction that he wants to run to. You can see the IS-4 took the 2 shots in the rear as impetus that he needs to start moving and has charged forward and charged down on the IS-7 now. And his ally in the other IS-7 not as optimistic about the situation, one might say. Not really wanting to get stuck in as much, but they both do decide to go forward now. You see the IS-4 proved to be pretty damn tough. He hasn't taken any damage from the IS-7. You can see now a Jagdpanzer E100 and T-28 prototype have now moved into the area as they realise that all that is here is a Waffenträger and that IS-7. They do have support in the form of this Object 704, but unfortunately, Washington is reloaded now. Gets a great shot through the side of the turret of the T-28 prototype. And I think Washington here just knows he's going to take a shot from this Jagdpanzer E100. But he has 2,000 hit points. So he's going to be able to soak that shot up and hopefully get some great damage back on the E100. Unfortunately, one of those bounced, but it looks like just one more shot. There we go. He's able to take out the Jagdpanzer E100. With only taking 1,200 damage in return. I say only, but that is a considerable amount of damage, but he has eliminated a tier 10 tank destroyer from the enemy team. So that is a fair trade. 1,200 of his hit points and his automatic fire extinguisher for eliminating their highest damage source on their team. Unfortunately, he couldn't save his platoon mate there, and he just got overrun by heavy tanks. And now Washington is trying to get the hell away before they crest over the top. The IS-4 that he hit in the rear earlier, who used that as a signal to start charging, is still alive. So he's done very, very well for himself, being able to survive that one and come out on top. Washington just taking cover here while he reloads that very long reload on the cannon. Having a quick look up the field here to see if there's anyone around. There is a T-57 Heavy in the south and a Waffenträger Auspanzer 4. So he's going to leave them to assault the IS-4 here. Gets a great hit on this E50. Finishes him off. Now he's got some shots on this E75. It looks like these guys in the north were proving to be a bit of a nuisance. Unfortunately, one of those on the E75 was a critical hit and one of those missed. So not quite able to take out the E75, but still able to do 1,100 points of damage to him for 7 and a bit thousand. So only got himself 2 kills, but 7 and a bit thousand damage is nothing to be sniffed at. Game is very, very even at the moment at 10 kills to 10. Looks like that T-57 Heavy and the Waffenträger Panzer 4 both been taken out by this IS-4. May have been getting helped out by the artillery, but if not, that guy's playing a pretty good game there. He got shot twice in the rear by our friend here, Washington 76, but he managed to survive. And he managed to push forward and eliminate all of the tanks that came against him. Washington does spot out the M103 here, but he's not loaded. M103 almost certainly has 6 sensors. He now backs off as he's spotted. Washington himself is spotted, but he is fully loaded now. Batchat 25 looks like he's trying to charge him down. The turret traverse on this thing isn't fantastic. He gets himself taken out by the E50M, and that's pulled the Allied team ahead ever so slightly. They are now winning 12 kills to 11. Washington's deciding that he's going to spin himself around and come at the enemy from the southern flank. That M103 is in the north there, but they've overrun the north thanks to the help of Washington, taking out that E50 and putting a significant amount of damage on that E75. Looks like that M103 has made a beeline across the field here. Gets one good shot on him, and his artillery's coming in as well. Looks like everybody's trying to charge down on Washington here, but he's just saying nope. And nope, I'll take both of you guys out. Now I'll focus on the M103. 3 shells left in the chamber. Might be enough to take the M103 from what hit points he has left down to nothing. Just allows his track to repair itself because he doesn't have a repair kit. M103 comes charging around the corner. Gets a great shot to take his track out. Takes a hit from with 53 hit points left. And even with 53 hit points left, he had the damage. He had the reflexes to be able to eliminate the M103 for the victory and almost 10,000 points of damage. So awesome. Awesome replay there from Washington 76. Not panicking under pressure when he got closed in on by 3 tanks at the end there. Just eliminating them one after another in a cool and calm fashion. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, then please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. The link for that is in the description. Just send me the replay file or the link to the What Replay website in the email, and I'll check that one out for you. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, found it useful, informative, you enjoyed it, or you learned something, think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I've been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.